Listening to this commander talk about how he needed his junior officers to come on board, find the problem, solve the problem, and understand what might happen next, and be on top of that, it really made me think that in the classroom, I need to encourage them to connect topics more and connect the solutions more to how they'll be able to use these skills in real life. This sort of trip really is illuminating. I mean, we all know what we're doing here. We're teaching officers, but just to see in context what they'll be doing, who they'll be working with, the kinds of problems they'll have to attack, it really brings home that what we need to do is teach them to learn, to teach them to think, and to encourage them to use the lessons we give them to apply to a broad range of experiences. And sometimes we get stuck in our buildings. We have an office, we have a classroom, and we go in between them, and that's it. So talking to the coaches and getting their perspective on the students and what they see, and there's a lot of overlap, but sometimes they get to see different aspects of the students that we don't get to see.
I think what impressed me so much is they all had a passion for what they were doing. Every one of them loved what they were doing, and that, of course, is transmitted to those that are listening, and I'm going, wow, you know, I can do this. In fact, I got in the car afterwards, and one of the ladies that was on the trip, she's the administrator here, in the admissions office, I should say. So there's no Navy background at all, and I said, can you imagine anybody would want to be on a submarine? And she said, I would love it. And I thought, well, there you go. You know, there's something for everybody.
Being a former coach for 27 years and recruiting like I used to do, I think it's invaluable that coaches really need to go on to this, so when they go out and meet with young men and women around the country, they can explain what they do. I think if you're a faculty member, you have to go on this. This is one of the best experiences I had, and there's a lot of great experiences at the Naval Academy as a faculty member, from the parades to all the dignitaries coming into the Army-Navy game. This is the best thing I did, and I wish I would have done it, had the opportunity to do it my second or third year, so I knew more going into it.
How cool to go on an aircraft carrier, a submarine, to go see the amphib unit. I mean, who gets to do that if you're not in the military? Who gets to have those opportunities? What was really exciting for me was to see that two of our tour guides had been former team members of mine. So to see where they were coming in as a plebe and see where they are now in the fleet and all the things they've accomplished, and see how the training that I had given them had related to what they were doing currently in the fleet was super exciting for me. I was not in the military, so it's a whole new language, a whole new slang. When the midshipmen talk that they're going to go to their DDG or their FA-18, my head just spins. I'm like shrugging my shoulders, whatever. But now, having been on those platforms, I have a much better understanding of what's ahead of them. I'm a sailing coach. We have a large team, and our number one goal is we want to go out and win races. But right up against that goal is we want to develop the midshipmen to be good leaders. And so being able to go out in the fleet and understand, again, the types of roles they'll be taking on enhances my ability to not only coach them how to sail and win races, but how to develop their leadership skills. If you're able to experience what the midshipmen are working towards, I think it'll help you in the long run for developing your athletes. One of the really key parts to develop in the trip is just interrelations across the yard. I met people from all kinds of disciplines, from professors to people working in the library and archives, and military officers on the yard. And I've already used those connections when I needed to solve a problem. Within 1 week of returning from the trip, I was calling on those people that I had met to help me solve some problem in my area.
You know, we're pulled in all different directions as coaches, but you know, this is an investment that's well worth your time. It was the best experience I had to actually get better and learn what our mids are doing and how to guide them, you know, how to recruit, to put, you know, actual meaningful things that I saw and put it in context when you're speaking to families. So, you know, it was a great investment. It's an investment in yourself. It's an investment in getting better.
Through the program, I've been able to go to a whole nother level of coaching. Although I have 20 years experience, nothing's prepared me better than to understand where the midshipmen are going after they leave my sport.